What up, y'all? It's the Morning Hustle with L'Oreal and Kyle Santillian. And you know we got an open door policy around here. We love when guests come by to stop and talk to us. And today we have somebody who is very monumental in a lot of people's childhoods growing up. Miss Giovonnie Samuels is here.
Our cousin, y'all. This is our cousin growing up. Everybody's cousin on all that, you know.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I'm everybody's favorite TV cousin.
I'm telling you. I'm like, you know she related to us, right?
So Giovonnie is here. It's a pleasure to have you here. Like Lo mentioned that you were on All That for a few years and also That's So Raven as well. Mm-hmm. I think I remember you more from That's So Raven when my oldest daughter used to love that show.
It was also on Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Yes,
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Listen, you was getting to the bag at a young age. I know that's right. That's what my mother did. She was like, you going to work now because there's some bills out here. Did you get scouted? Like, how did you even get a part of the Nickelodeon family?
So
Disney family too.
Yeah, so I auditioned through one of those like scammy places. Hey, you want to be a star?
Really?
No way.
And it worked out.
Surprisingly, I met actually a legitimate manager, Carla Alexander, and we kind of went on from there.
I told my mother we should have did those. She told me they wasn't real.
I don't recommend it because I didn't even get picked. So my cousin, she got picked for modeling. Oops. She got picked for modeling, and I just happened to go with her to her audition, and she was sitting there watching me. She's like, here, take these sides. And I did the audition for her, and she signed me on the spot.
That is crazy. I've taken my daughter to one of those before, and then I got better information and was told, don't go to those.
Don't go to those.
You know what I mean?
Please don't waste your time. If somebody is telling you, hey, pay me $2,000-$3,000 and I could get you on Disney, that's a scam.
They got us with Barbizon. I did Barbizon when I was young. I still don't know how to do my makeup right.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I even started my own acting company because of that, because a lot of us who are very talented may not have the opportunity or the knowledge to get out there. And it's a way for you not, like, I went through that crap. I know how that felt. It's horrible, but only by the grace of God we made it through. Yeah. So I'd rather help people than hurt people, and that's what my company, GS Acting Workshops, is.
It's interesting that you say that, because now that I'm thinking about it, it seems like it starts off bad from the beginning when it comes to children in the business. Anybody in the business, to be honest, because if they're getting over on adults, you can only imagine what's happening with the children. Yeah. But obviously we know what's going on right now in the documentary you've been a part of. And just hearing your story is showing me, like, oh my goodness, the red flags are there instantly, but we kind of ignore those.
I call them known secrets.
Yeah.
It's known to everyone in the business, but it's a secret to everyone else. But known secrets shouldn't be a secret at all.
For sure. Do you remember the first time you felt like there was, hey, wait a minute, that's a red flag?
On what show?
Oh, wow.
I mean, not even a particular show. Like, you're young, you're getting involved with acting, you're kind of, everything is new to you. And the first time you say, hey, wait a minute, that doesn't seem
because
right.
You're excited at first, right? Like,
it didn't really change or shift or like, hey, something's off, until we were already kind of in the swing of things.
Okay.
So you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
And you think, okay, maybe this is just how it is. Acting or this entertainment industry, period, is probably one of the professions where you literally learn on the job. Mm-hmm. You know, yes, you have your training. Yes, you have your skills as far as like reading a script and whatnot, but nobody teaches you the business side of acting, or the stuff the set etiquette that you should look out for and know. You kind of learn as you get more experience. And the only way you get more experience is if you get more work. So it's kind of like a catch-22.
Yeah. So when it came to, I've seen a lot of things and people saying that when it came to the parents, they said like the parents weren't really necessarily welcomed on set.
Yeah.
I was a little confused at the fact that they said there were certain laws where kids weren't allowed around certain people by themselves.
So there's at certain age brackets, your parent has to be sight and sound. Like, oh, I need to see or be within voice distance from you on set. That's usually for newborns to, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old. And then as you get a little older, I mean, it's still there and still prevalent, but with Quiet on Set, our parents were sequestered to the green room. Like, we had a monitor and you could see us and see what was going on set, but the parents weren't really allowed on the set.
That's crazy to me. That's a red flag.
Like, just in itself, but if that's standard, you don't feel it.
You don't, but you, like, again, you don't know what you don't know. And for a lot of us, that was our first job.
Did your parents ever try to speak out against that or feel like, nah, we're too far away?
No, it just, again, we thought that was normal.
Yeah.
Because again, all right, we're here. I can see what's going on, blah, blah, blah. You know, if anything was uncomfortable one night, my mom could see me on the TV or on the monitors, but you don't know what you don't know.
So we knew that there wasn't a lot of brown faces on the show, right? But what about behind the scenes? I know we saw a lot of the white executives. Was there anyone black on set other than yourself?
No. I had to request a black hairstylist, and that wasn't until season 2 for me. There was nobody else.
That looked like you.
Not in the writer's room, the offices, the PAs, nothing.
Wow, that's crazy.
That is. And that shows, like, when we talk about, or when we see in the documentary, Brian's situation where the first scene with him is they're making him out to be a mock drug dealer.
Right.
So there's nobody behind the scenes to say, hey, that's not appropriate.
Well, in that case, it started out as Brian's idea, but they took it too far. They're the ones who took it to that, hey, let me drug you out, however it was.
He popped out the bushes.
Right, like it was a joke for him. He was like, yo, I've always wanted to sell Girl Scout cookies, because he thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And they took it to the drug dealer undertones.
Yeah.
Or even for my characters, I was always considered the sassy black girl with an attitude.
And you clearly don't even give that. Like, you're soft spoken. You're like, that's not even your vibe. That's me.
Right.
No, I mean, I get it. At that time, there wasn't any representation of a monolithic black person. It was just, you fit in this one box.
Yeah.
Right.
And this was the only box that we had accessible for you, because that's the box we understood.
Yeah.
And it's not.
So because we know that this is such a touchy situation because of many different reasons, but then you still work in the business as a writer.
I executive produced a pilot that I did with a friend of mine. I just wrapped another film that I acted and produced in January. I've written 2 other pilots. I wrote a book. I'm doing other stuff. I'm still acting. I still audition. I still go out and do things.
And then, so now that you're a part of this documentary where you guys are shining a light on something that necessarily needs to have a light shined on, are you finding yourself getting into any issues where maybe threats are coming at you or loss of job?
No, I mean, surprisingly, everybody has been so overwhelmingly supportive.
Good.
And from the comments on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, there has been nothing but, you guys are so brave. Thank you for speaking up. You know, thank you for saying something. And I will give Jeanette McCurdy, some praises, because she kind of opened the floodgates with her book. And it just snowballed from there. I'll even give a little shout out to Cat Williams, because he started out this year with the reckoning,
with the truth.
And it just, every month, if you guys have noticed, especially with the entertainment industry, everybody, all those known secrets are coming out.
So speaking to that point, right? Known secrets, people that have been dropping hints of stuff like this happening in the entertainment industry for a long time. All of that feeds into the larger conversation and the idea of an organized Illuminati that runs everything, right? People always, but they talk about this kind of stuff being that, rituals or, pedophilia, sacrifice, all of these kind of things. With the things that you've seen, witnessed, experienced, right? Does that lend you to believe like there is one group of people that's really organizing and conducting all of this kind of behavior?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. And if there is, they ain't talking to me.
Right. You're going to be the last person they talk to. That's for sure.
they ain't checking for me. They ain't looking at me. Ain't nobody playing with my booty cheeks. Right. It's like, I have always done things with God first and integrity second.
Yeah.
And because of that, it takes me a little bit longer, or people like
that's
me a little
okay.
bit
Take
longer.
your time is what they say.
And now I'm getting the recognition and shine, and I'm thankful for it. But again, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like you said, a lot of people are reaching out. We think you're extremely brave. We thank you for speaking out. And you're being received in a way where people are praising the fact that you came out. Drake Bell, on the other hand, I don't feel was received with the same compassion.
It's mixed. Now people are saying, I understand. It still doesn't make it right, but I understand.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, hurt people. And he was really, really hurting. And essentially Hollywood turned its back on him.
Was it because, am I mistaken, he did something that got himself jammed up as well?
I don't know
what brought the attention to him.
I don't know the details, and I personally don't feel comfortable speaking about it because I don't want to misspeak. But it was something on the lines of, hey, something inappropriate happened with a child. And that was that.
And he was a part of it.
And he was a part of it.
But what's out there, what we do know to be facts is that he was molested by one of the producers on set, one of the coaches.
Our dialect coach.
Yes. And the man was found guilty, but only given a short period of time in jail.
I think it was like
16 months.
16 months. Yeah, it wasn't long.
And then returned to working on a children's show.
Yeah. And that's why I spoke up. And that's the law that needs to be changed.
So what law is this? Because I thought that whenever you do a sex crime, you have to register sex offender. You can't be around kids.
It's a loophole that they have. And it's terrible. But this is why I spoke up. This is why I wanted to say something, because nobody should have access to it. On my set of all that, we had not one, but 3.
That's so crazy.
That's crazy. All of this scares me because I have a daughter, like I mentioned earlier, who she wants to make this her career.
Yeah.
Her major right now is film and broadcast. She's been doing theater since 5th grade. You know what I mean? And when I think about her auditioning, I think about her auditioning and being in these environments, I'm constantly like saying like, yo, if you ever feel like things are inappropriate, you got to speak up on it. You got to let people know. You now as a mother, does this scare you about your children possibly going into that same field, or would you be comfortable with them going into the same field?
Well, first, I only have one.
Mm-hmm.
One and done.
That's it. I hear you.
Child.
That's enough.
Okay,
it
got
seems.
you for sure. One and done.
And 2, he has no interest in it.
Oh, okay.
So he just wants to be a kid, and I'm completely okay with that.
Yeah.
Dad does music, I'm in acting. He wants to be a doctor.
Oh,
Okay.
I love that.
That's where we're gonna push it.
We need them.
You
We
know?
need doctors.
Yeah.
For the people out there that are chasing those dreams, did you have any words for them?
Please learn the child labor laws, learn the SAG laws, learn everything you can to protect your child. Have a code system with your kid, especially if you guys are going to be on set. Be that persistent parent that's like, no, I need to be within sight and sound. There is a program that SAG has, and it's called Looking Ahead program, but it's severely underfunded, and sadly, you have to opt into it. So it's a choice, and it should be mandatory. And as long as I've been in this industry, this is the first time I'm even hearing of it.
Wow.
And so a lot of previous child stars like Chrissy Carlson Romano, Allison Stoner, Corbin Blue, myself, we're all getting involved and like really trying to bring the attention to SAG, not just, hey, okay, this is a little bit. No, this needs to be mandatory for all kids on set so that the parents can learn and understand. So myself, again, shameless plug, GS Acting Workshops, I do consulting and acting coaching. So the consulting half is to educate parents to like, hey, this shouldn't happen. Look out for this.
Yeah.
Say yes or no to this. Da 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 da. Like I'm very adamant about that. Like, yes, your kid is talented, but you got to know the business too. You have to know what's okay. Because again, this is, you just gonna let it happen because it's Hollywood. Oh, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. You just kind of sweep it under the rug and accept it. But you keep sweeping stuff under the rug, you're gonna get this big pile of shit, and then this happens.
Yeah.
Right. And not just that, I feel like a lot of parents were present and were trying, but the machine was so much bigger than them. They were almost pushed out in situations.
Miss Tracy, which is Brian's mom.
Yeah.
And my mom, she spoke up too.
And
So
they
it
treated them like the black sheep and, oh, here she comes again.
Well, especially Miss Tracy, she was rah-rah. Like, she always has been. She's from Brooklyn. Like,
I know that's right.
she outside. She outside. I love Miss Tracy to pieces. But because of her, she made sure it wasn't just her son. She made sure, this ain't right. If it don't smell right, it don't smell right. And she said something.
So, okay, you worked on Not So Raven as well. You was on set there a lot, obviously. We see things going on now with, like, Orlando. Was there things going on with him then, or is this an effect of what happened maybe on set, or was there problems there, or was he always just, like, a little different?
I don't know how to answer that because everybody had their own struggles. You don't know what's happening at home. And people need to realize for child stars, the dynamic is shifted. We're the adults. We're the ones that are making the money. We're the ones that have the responsibilities and the liabilities of not just ourselves, but anybody else that is working for us. Tell me it's not weird that I'm 16 years old and I have my mom as on payroll.
Yeah, that has to be difficult.
You know, tell me you remember you at 14, 15 years old. I'll even give you 12. And somebody gives you $1 million and nobody can tell you no.
Can't tell me nothing. I ain't doing another chore in my life.
But that's the dynamic that I'm talking about that people don't understand. When you have that sort of pressure or responsibility without proper guidance or structure, you're gonna self-destruct. Or you're put into this bubble or machine that you're curated in a certain way and you have to live up to that expectation. Mind you, you're supposed to be in your fundamental developmental years trying to discover who you are, but you're constantly playing somebody else. And then when you get to a point where you don't want to do that job anymore, that cute baby face or whatever that people know you for or have an emotional attachment to, you rebel.
And we've seen that just over the years where, you know, the running theme was that child actors, child stars crash out.
Yeah.
They crash out when they become adults.
Well, when did they have a chance to be themselves without having to perform?
Yeah. That's real.
Now, we knew the documentary was going
That's
to
real.
spark a lot of controversy, right? But did you think that, because right now we haven't heard much from Nickelodeon, Disney, or anybody, did you expect to hear a little bit more on the side of them? Nothing.
No.
Well, what is it that they can do?
Nickelodeon made a statement, and they said that they didn't know that this was happening or whatnot.
Which is not true. The court case shows it's not true. Yeah.
I wash my hands.
Yeah.
Right.
So what, if there was anything that they could do to make a step towards, maybe it can never be right because things have been damaged permanently, right? But what is something that you think they should start with, maybe?
Having a mental health advisor on set for children. That would be pertinent. Having better laws in place to protect kids on set. Just some things that are, and I hate to say it's common sense because nobody knows this entertainment industry like the people who are in it.
Right.
So for us, it's common sense laws that should be in place. But for the average person, they don't know what that is.
Yeah.
So for me, those are the top two.
Yeah. We want everybody to definitely check out the documentary and be aware of what's going on. A lot of it is obviously bad and sad, but if you could, just for a moment, let's flip gears for a second. What were some of the best things that came out of your time being on some of these shows like All That, That's So Raven? What are some of the good memories you have?
I mean, I can't take that away. Like you said, that it's a dual thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was my first job. I met some amazing people who I'm still close with and friends with today. I'm thankful that I was able to be a representation for a generation. And I didn't know the importance of that or realize the massive impact that I had on people until now. I got to do what I love. And I'm still doing it successfully 25 years later.
Yeah.
So I don't look at it all bad. I mean, granted, there were some things that I wish I could take away. And granted, there are a lot of other things that I'm thankful God protected me from. But I'm here. I'm still alive.
That's right.
I'm still well.
That's right.
I'm still doing some pretty cool things.
Yeah, you are.
So
For sure.
knowing everything you know today, right? Say you had that knowledge, but it goes to your child mind,
Okay.
right? Would you do the show again, knowing all that you know today?
Yeah, but I would definitely wreck some shit.
I love that.
That's the perfect answer for sure. Well,
And we know
listen.
that y'all are not stopping here, right? Like this is something, like you said, these laws need to get changed. There's loopholes that are not right. What's next for, everybody involved in the documentary? Do y'all have a plan? Because I want to get down and help y'all because I really just think it's so disgusting. Like, I was in tears watching that documentary, so many things.
I was too, because when it happened, I watched it and things were confirmed for me. So in the documentary, you see, I didn't know who was hurt. I had suspicions. I had kind of an idea, but nothing was confirmed until he came on.
Yeah.
And then I started going back and replaying interactions that I've had with Drake or things that happened on set that didn't, I had like, I know something's off, but I didn't know what it was. Everything was confirmed. Everything was like, that was the missing piece that I didn't know. But as moving forward, like I said, I'm part of the Looking Ahead program with SAG. I really hope that this opens up the conversation more for other people to speak up and do something. I'm also doing a podcast called The Tokens, and it talks about being that very thing. And
wow, yeah.
I'm interviewing a couple of my other friends and actors and chefs and journalists, like who were the tokens.
Because that's a whole nother form of abuse.
That's a whole
really
nother
is.
form of abuse that nobody is talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll be shooting that soon, and that'll be out probably late spring.
That's what's up, man. But we're not happy that you had to deal with all of that, but we're happy that you survived all of it.
Yeah.
And we're thankful that you're here to talk to us today. For the people that want to follow up with some of the programs you got coming up, they want to maybe get part of your acting classes and consultation, how can people reach out to you?
I'm pretty accessible. Instagram, all of my socials are the same. Only one Giovonnie, Giovonnie. I have the Tokens podcast. That website is out, or gsactingworkshops.com. That's for my classes, or you could buy the book on Amazon. It's called All That You Need to Know About Show Business.
See what you did there.
And
I like that. I like that. I like that. You did that. Snap with that
She went in with that one, right?
and each chapter covers a different step in the industry. So like building your brand, getting an agent. Oh, I got the job. What do I do on set? Okay, how do I read a call sheet? Those are things that people don't really teach.
Right.
And so my class and my company and the book kind of goes over those things just to give you some kind of guidance.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I can't wait to hear Amanda Bynes' story, because I'm pretty sure
she ain't talking.
You don't think she would ever talk?
Not at all.
She clearly has something going on and something happened.
She wants to be left alone.
Yeah.
Damn.
She don't want to talk.
They ruined a lot of kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't speak for her, but baby just wants to be left alone.
Yeah.
So please respect her peace.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's my plea for fans or supporters or whatnot. People are like, well, she needs to talk, or such and such needs to talk, or Orlando, why is he wilding? You have no idea.
Yeah. In their own time.
In their own time. Give them peace, give them space. They've been entertaining you and been in the camera for probably when they were started at 3.
Yeah, man.
So from 3 until now, I have been a part of your life. Give me my space so that I can fix mine.
That's a great word.
Deep, yeah.
That's a great word. Well, we thank you for sharing some of that time with us today, for sure. And we obviously, we want the best for you. We wish you the best. And just thank you for everything, for sure.
Thank you.
All right, there it is.
We are the Morning Hustle.